What is going on, everybody? This is Aaron from 49ers First Takes, back with my co-host Mike from SF Gold Rush, and we're talking Bears 49ers recap here, talking about the game last night, which was absolutely insane, a barn burner, a shootout, whatever you want to call it. Last team to have the ball wins. At least that's what we thought. Somehow the Niners were able to hold on, and the Niners are one win away from securing the 1 seed and having home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. It's just hard to imagine based on everything that's happened this year, all the injuries, all the drama. And yet, Mike, here we are on the verge of locking down home field advantage.
We did it, man. It was an instant classic. Actually, I think David Lombardi said it best, that it was like a mix of like that Saints game, the George Kittle Saints game, and the Seattle game, with the Greenlaw stop. Like that was like the perfect merger of both games, because it was a shootout, and then you had that goal line stop at the very end, and it was just like, I think everyone aged 5 years. And but the thing is, my man showed up, right? This man showed up when he needed to, and man, it was incredible. It started off a little
inauspicious,
like the last primetime game, right? And I was like, oh, here we go. Primetime Brock is back, but he made up for it. So what a game. Niners have already exceeded expectations, how they are where they are with all the injuries, and Trent Williams going out the first snap of the game, and Kyle able to adjust on the fly. Like, dude, I'm speechless.
Yeah. Still trying to figure out how Trent got hurt he was jogging. I was like, what happened?
He was trying to chase down the interception when he was 30 yards away.
I don't get that, because it's like, don't we stretch?
Yeah. Well, he's a big boy, and I'm sure he doesn't do a lot of sprinting.
Yeah, well, when guys are that size, they got little Mickey Mouse ankles. You know what I mean? Like, they're not. It is what it is when you're 6'7", 6'5", and we weigh 320, 330 plus.
And it was the first snap of the game, right? So he probably wasn't warmed up 100%, right? The very first snap of the game, and he's trying to sprint. So, yeah.
Man, it was weird, because I was watching the game and I was like, I'm okay with either way this thing goes, because we're in the playoffs. This is my line of thinking, and I know a lot of people are going to get on me for it and give me grief, but the Niners offense can win them a Super Bowl. But I said this on X. Their defense could get them eliminated in the first playoff game they play.
Absolutely.
Two things can both be correct.
Very true.
And, there's been a lot of this, we're bending, don't break. We're bending, don't break. And I'm like, where are we bending?
Oh, we bended a lot. We bended over backwards and broke.
Yeah, and broke. Like, bend but don't break means you get a stop here, stop there, a turnover.
Hold them to a field goal.
Like, they bent barely last night. And I just think that I said this, and I was like, okay, we played a lot of tomato cans that made us look better than what we were. And I said that when we play Bears, when we play the Colts, when we play the Seahawks, that's closer to what we really are. And people are like, no, the defense is getting better. You don't know what you're talking about. You're negative. I'm like, I'm telling you, man, when you're not playing tomato can quarterbacks, you're gonna get a better idea of what this team is. And sure enough, like, our offense is unbelievable. Super Bowl caliber offense. They've been on a tear. I think they've averaged at least 35 points a game since Brock has returned. And
yeah.
But their defense we said this off stream, their defense has gotten worse.
Even with players returning.
And everyone was trying to hype me up like, oh, they're getting this guy back, and they're getting Yetur Gross-Matos back, and this player. And I'm just like, that ain't going to matter. And they're like, you don't know. And I'm like, I'm telling you, dude, like, we are what we are. And sure enough, I felt whatever way I felt with the game yesterday, which is like, okay, if we lose and we end up being like the 6th seed, I'm okay with that, because that's kind of where I envision us anyways, based on our defense. But at the same time, if we win and we get one win away from winning the 1 seed, I'm okay with that too. So,
I mean,
go ahead.
This offense, out of all the playoff teams, honestly, Aaron, this is the best offense in the NFL, hands down.
Oh, for sure. Right now, yes.
I think right now this offense, and mind you, Aaron, this was without Trent Williams and George Kittle, right? And last week we didn't have Pearsall. So imagine whenever everyone's fully healthy, like we don't even really need all those guys. We're still putting up over 40 points a game. So this offense can definitely take us to another level. And this is a better offense than in 2023 when we had Debo, Ayuk, all these different playmakers that Brock could get the ball to. He's doing this with Kendrick Bourne, Jauan Jennings, Demarcus Robinson. So like this is very, very impressive to me. And I'm actually a little like beside myself of how well Brock was able to play given the lack of weapons he has. And yes, the defense leaves a lot to be desired, of course. But when you have the number one offense in the NFL right now, and I don't care who you play, I think he can score points on anybody. I'm not going to complain considering all the talent we let go this offseason and clearing of the books and all the drama and everything that happened. I mean, dude, we're playing for the number one seed against Sam Darnold in prime time, where hopefully he turns into a pumpkin.
Yeah. Brock Purdy has 10 total touchdowns the last 2 weeks. He threw
That's
for
more than he has. Yeah.
5 touchdowns last week. He threw for 3 last night and ran for 2. When people were talking about, and I think I let myself go down that road a little bit too, like, oh, if Mac Jones isn't losing, like keep him going as long as Brock isn't 100% healthy. But I remember streaming with Sterling, and Sterling was like, nah, Brock's still the guy. Brock's still the guy. And, you kind of ride the emotion train when a guy's winning and Brock's not winning and he's out with the injury.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, a lot of people were saying the offense just runs differently when Brock is on the field. And people are like, oh, it's the same. It looks exactly the same. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, no, there's a different element to it.
Absolutely.
He's been nothing short of a mini Patrick Mahomes the last couple of weeks. His scrambling ability keeps plays alive and keeps things interesting way longer than when Mac Jones turns into a heavy stone in the pocket and absolutely craters. Like this is just unbelievable. Like he's playing better than he did in the 2022-23
absolutely
time frame. Like he's turned into a different player.
And he was breaking records during that season.
Right. What was the talk that he needed the Avengers to win, right?
Yep.
Like if he doesn't have all the great players. And last year he did struggle, but the whole team struggled last year. It wasn't just Brock. Like the guys were tired, they were just burnt out, whatever. So Brock didn't play well with a lot of his guys hurt or in and out of the lineup. Well, this year he didn't have Ayuk at all. Pearsall has been like an enigma wrapped inside of I always forget the saying. Enigma wrapped inside of anyways, he hasn't been available. And when he is available, he usually goes into the game and then gets hurt and comes back out, which happened last night again.
First play.
Or
his first catch. Right?
Okay. So he's been running things with Kendrick Bourne, Jauan Jennings, Sky Moore, Jake Tonjes, no Trent Williams, a defense without Bosa, Fred Warner, all that stuff. And he looks
phenomenal.
The same, if not better, than we've seen him since he's been the quarterback of the team. I'm trying to figure out where these goalposts are going to move to next. Is it if he loses a playoff game, C, he's not the elite, C, he can't win the big one? You know it's going to happen, Mike.
Of course. They're going to try to change it. But when Mac Jones was playing, like, I'm not taking nothing away from Mac. He got us to where we are today, and thank God that we had him. But there was reporters out there they were trying to be snake oil salesmen and tell us we didn't need Brock, right? Oh, we should trade Brock, trade him. Let's unload this contract. Mac Jones, we can have him for cheaper. He can run the offense. Just like no, guys. And I was trying to say from the rooftops, you guys are very quick to forget how good Brock was during that Super Bowl run. He was phenomenal. He was breaking records. His accuracy, his QBR, everything was just amazing. And yeah, you can look at the stats and see, oh, he only threw for 300 yards last night or whatever. Stafford threw for 500 against the Seahawks. The stats don't do it justice. You have to watch the game, see how he's playing, see what he's dealing with. He doesn't have Puka Nacua. He doesn't have a Devontae Adams, duo out there. He's doing this. He's scrambling. He's keeping plays alive. He's fitting the ball in the tightest of windows because his wide receivers cannot separate. Dude is doing magic out there, and you have to see it to really appreciate it. And you can't just look at the stats and be like, oh, yeah, well, he played against Indy, and he only, anyone could throw 5 touchdowns against Indy or whatever. No. You got to watch the game.
There's people that cover the 49ers who are part of the media, who have a pretty popular platform, that have some snake oil salesmen as their underlings that have content creators, and they have just never liked Brock. They've always disliked Brock. Ever since Trey Lance wasn't the guy and the 49ers moved off of him, it's been swipe after swipe after swipe at Brock. Nothing he does is ever good enough. And I'm sure that even what happened last night, they'll find some criticism of it. And it's sad because it comes from our own fan base.
Yep.
Where I'm a very negative fan. I'm a very, like me and you are very hard to please. We have certain standards. I don't know, some of us are more, I don't know. We see the future when we're watching games. We envision things down the road. Whereas some fans get caught in that moment, right?
Yeah.
They get caught in the one game and being I always project. I'm always projecting. What would this look against this team? Or what would this offense look against that defense? Or what would this defense look against that offense?
Yeah.
That's what I do. And I think you do it too, where it's I feel good about said win against a bad team. But if we're doing this on defense against that team, or we're doing this, or we're barely doing this on offense against that team, what is it going to look like?
Yep.
I can't say that about the offense right now because I think this team can score on anybody as long as they give Brock time to throw the football. The defense, we'll get to that. That's a whole other story. That there's all sorts of problems over there. But it's just weird when it comes from within our own fan base, where you get grifters and you have people that make content based on negativity and trying to push narratives and stuff. We already got enough people in the media itself that hate Brock Purdy. Even some of those guys, like a Colin Cowherd, showered Brock with some praise. Some people are finally starting to be okay, he's a pretty decent quarterback. He might not be the top 4 that we all know who they are. We don't need to talk about them. But I think he's still starting to whittle himself into that top 10 category, maybe top 7, if he continues to play the way he's been playing. We talked about this in one of our first streams you did together, that we didn't think Brock was healthy. We still thought he was a little bit we won a game, but we felt like we lost.
Yeah.
This to me looks like he's as 100% or close to 100% as he's been since he's been the quarterback of this team. I mean, the way he's moving out there, the throws have more velocity than they did when he first started. I mean, he looks like a different player, and he looks better than he did in 2022 and 2023. Right now, in this little stretch, I'm not trying to overplay it, but he looks like a different guy.
100%. He has that swag. My whole thing is a team needs a little bit of that swag. The Niners had that swag in 23. You know what I mean? They had it. They had that mojo. Brock, now that he's healthy, he's bringing that swag to that offense, and he's running this shit. You know what I mean? he is running this damn offense, and he has it humming. And there is no, like, every single drive last night, I was like, they're gonna score. Like Brock's got this. Like even long third downs, I'm like, Brock will figure it out. Like I trust him. He's gonna do it. You can just tell, like, he's got it. He's playing with whatever it is right now, and you know what a better time to peak than going into week 18 playing for the number 1 seed, while the Rams, Stafford just threw his second interception, and they're down 21-zip. It's not the kind
Are you
of
serious?
Yeah.
I'm not even watching the game. I'm glad. Oh my God. I'm such a horrible fan, guys. I don't follow the other teams. No, I do. I just decided to just.
Honestly, I don't think this game matters for the Rams. I think they finish with the 6th seed, maybe either way. But I mean, that's not the kind of way you want to play. I don't know how many wins.
You want to play your best ball going into the playoffs.
Team, yeah, a 6-win team. The last game of the season. That's not what you want to do.
The Niners are playing their best offense going into the playoffs that we've seen probably since Brock has been the quarterback.
Yep.
What gives me confidence is the things that we just said earlier, is that he's doing it with not all top-line guys. He's making people better. That's the biggest critique that he's had, is he doesn't make anybody better. Anybody can run this offense. It's Kyle Shanahan is the real genius. The quarterback is irrelevant. Some of the clicks out there that are content creators will tell you it doesn't matter who runs the offense. Anybody can run it. Now you're starting to see Brock kind of separate himself from that. And he's doing it because he's playing with lesser known guys. He's having to make plays on his feet, extend plays. Yes, the offensive line has been playing great, but Brock has just been nothing short of amazing. And I've never felt this confident offensively with the 49ers that they could go into a playoff and score like 40 points a game in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, me neither.
It's just a matter of how many points their defense is going to give up.
Yeah.
And then that's the sucky part, is because what's lost on this is that as good as he's playing, and the amount of points you're scoring, their defense is playing just as horrible. So it's kind of bittersweet for me. I thought last night was a bittersweet win for me. I was so happy and elated that they won, but I was like, man, that defense, and I want to transition to the defense. Defense sucks, bro. They're bad. Yeah. They're just really bad. They don't do anything. They're warm bodies on the field. You know what I equated the 49ers offense to? You know when you're driving on the expressway or the thruway and they got those little bumps on the side of the road that alert you when you're coming off the side of the road, maybe you're falling asleep.
Yeah.
That's what the Niners defense is.
Yeah.
They're not going to stop you. They're not going to, cause you to have an accident or whatever. They alert you and let you know they're there, but that's all they do. And that's what the Niners defense is. They alert you like, hey, we're here. We're a defense, or at least we're posing as one, but they don't actually do anything. They're just like those little things on the side of the road. They just kind of let you know you're there.
Yeah. And it wasn't the defense that made the final stop, like, mind you, right? Like, it was the clock. Clock, because they still had, if there was more time, they would have got into that end zone.
Yep.
Like, eventually. It wasn't like, oh, the defense, made a turnover, they got the sack or what. No. That was the clock that stopped them from running another play. Otherwise, they would have got in. But with all that aside, like, I put out something, we I think on X, we were going back and forth a little bit, like, you know what? We just have to come to terms with this defense and what they're going to do, and just accept it, and not overreact to it, because we know what they are now, right?
Yep.
We know what they are. We need to expect that they're going to give up a lot of points. They're going to bend and break, not bend, don't break. They're going to bend.
We got to get rid of this bend but don't break defense mantra. Yeah. They're breaking all the time.
Yes, they're breaking.
Bending
all the
means
time.
Is like a turnover here or there.
Yeah.
One.
You give up yards, but not points, right?
You don't go games without sacks.
Exactly.
Or full games without sacks, and call yourself bend but don't break. Yeah. Essentially, what they are is just break and break and break. That's what they do. They're just not good, and a lot of it has to do with who they have. And who's not there?
It's the horse. They just don't have the horses, and
they
have a lot of communication breakdown
all the time.
Jair Brown, I mean, he drives me crazy because he'll make a good play, but he gives up touchdowns. So like it's a double negative because okay, you made a third down stop, great, bravo, but you gave up 14 points. So it's like I get it, but they need help, but they're not going to get any. So it is what it is. This is the defense. We have to learn to accept it, embrace it, so we don't overreact, and just know that we have a superstar quarterback that can answer at any time that's needed. And that's going to be the difference, that and special teams and getting good field position. And if two of the three are humming, that's really all, as much as you can ask for. Look at this NFL now. Every team has a major weakness, right? Like the Rams right now, they're down 21-0 to the Falcons. Seattle, they didn't look that good against the Panthers. I think it was like 3-3 at halftime. It's a parity. It's who's ever playing the best that night is going to win. And the Bears, they were undefeated, 6-0 with, trailing 2 minutes left. They're the one team you don't want to, put in that position. But guess what? The Niners figured it out and they got it done. So when things are breaking your way, it just might be, good luck. And I'll ride it. I'll take it because the Niners are used to getting a lot of bad luck, and they're still getting bad luck. But any good break, I'll take it.
My brother, he's like, what do you expect with the defense when you have backups and backups of backups playing? I said, it's true. I think a lot of fans are frustrated with the defense. One of the comments was like, they did good last night. There's much more to defense than sacks and turnovers. No, there really isn't. I mean, turnovers are key. You got to have turnovers if you want to be able to stop somebody who's dicing and slicing you up and down the field. The thing with the defense that it's frustrating is nobody's asking them to be elite, Mike.
Yeah.
Just marginally better. Marginally. Like, instead of giving up 20, so they went in successive weeks. They've given up 24, 28, 27, and 38. So they've gotten progressively worse. I understand. Nobody's asking you to be anything other than what you are, but like, they're the same people that have been on the field all season. I don't understand how a defense is getting progressively worse, and that their miscommunications and their timing and people being out of position and people running off the field and not knowing if they're supposed to come onto the field. I don't know if you saw that last night.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, what in the world, man?
Yeah.
It's week 17. How are these things still happening? So, like, I'm not expecting them to be anything than what they are, but to just be marginally better. Instead of giving up 38 points, give up 21. We give up 21, give up 24 if we score 38 or 40.
Or just make a third down stop when it's more than 3rd and 10.
Or a fourth down stop when it's more than 10 yards. Like, what?
Like, that's not too much to ask, right?
Yeah, and then the tackling is just...
You're going to give up 20? Like, how is that possible?
The tackling has been unbelievably bad.
Yeah.
Chase Lucas got put in a blender last night. Oh my God. I'm like, get that motherfucker off the field, bro. Get him out of there. I can't believe I actually thought this dude was any good in the preseason. I got to stop listening.
He got lost a couple times on some plays. He's like, I lost this one guy this one time, and I lost the other guy this other time. I'm like,
yeah, he was talking about how the gate at the end, there was a guy opening the back of the end zone. Like, way to freaking throw your defense under the bus. But at least he's honest.
Yeah.
Jair Brown is absolutely dog water trash in coverage. And another thing that I don't understand is their approach just to, like, I never see any, like, I don't know, like, the way they approach tackling sometimes is just atrocious. The way they come up on people is atrocious. I never see them swarm to the ball. It's always one guy trying to make a half-ass attempt at a tackle that doesn't get there. They're constantly out of position. They don't get any rush ever. There's never any rush.
Yeah, no sacks last night, right?
No sacks. I just don't understand as a professional football player, defense, even if you're a backup, how do you just not get any pressure on the quarterback ever? How do you not fall into a sack? There's no reason for them to be out there. They don't do anything.
It's just, I'm telling you, after last night and seeing those, like, you knew every time the Bears got the ball, right? Like,
they were going to score, no doubt in my mind.
So, like, it was hard to get excited when you saw Brock score because you're like,
here comes the Browns or the Bears. Yep,
they're just going to answer, right?
That's what I felt last night. I wanted to be so happy last night.
Yeah,
like my insides were saying, Brock's playing amazing. This is unbelievable. They have a chance at winning a championship. But in my heart, I'm like, and I said this on X, and I'll say it here. They have an offense that is good enough, and I said two things could be true. I said they have an offense that is good enough to win them a championship, and they have a defense that will literally lose it in the first game they play.
Yeah.
If the Niners get held on maybe 2 or 3 drives in a playoff game where they don't score, but they score like 28 points, they'll lose.
Yeah.
Their defense is that bad. They do nothing. There's only so much ball control you can play. You cannot play ball control. You got to score points. I feel like Kyle was trying to play ball control at some points last night and score points at the same time. The touchdown to Jauan Jennings, I'm like, I was mad that he scored too early, but I was still happy that they scored because it just was like.
While he was running, I was screaming in the bar, get down, because I knew you can't give him that much time left.
No, I thought the same thing.
I'd rather play that, hey, if we don't get it, at least we're in field goal range, we'll tie, and then we'll see. But I'm like, if we give them time, they're just going to score and win. So I was like, dude, get down. Me and my other buddy were in there screaming, get down. And I was like, see, I told you we're going to lose this damn game because he didn't go down. Like,
but then, Mike, if
3 or something, Brock will find a way to get it in. So, but yeah,
Mike, if they do go down and then they don't score, then it's like, why would they go down?
You tie it, right? True. At least you can tie, but they don't have a chance to get the ball back. So
it was like I said, it was bittersweet last night because like you just want the defense to do just a little bit, not a ton. You're not going to be the defense you were in 2019.
Yeah.
You're not going to be the defense that you were in 2023. But I mean, it's sad because it's like, I know the guys are trying and I know that they're putting effort in. It's just, I don't know, what it is. I mean, what can Robert Saleh really do? What can he do?
Nothing.
He looks befuddled. He looks confused. He looks exacerbated, or is that, I forget the word, but like, he looks like there's nothing else I can do to help these guys.
The only thing that can be done is you get that 1 seed, you win the divisional, and hopefully Fred can come back and play at some type of level, even if he's not physically 100%, cerebrally wise, he can line everybody up, right? He can get everyone in the right position. There's not going to be so many busted coverages. Just like, that's the only like sliver of hope where the defense could improve a little bit. But other than that, no one's coming to save you. It's the Brock show. It's the Brock show and Kyle and, clock management and figure out a way to get it done. But, the defense is who they are. We know what they are. Everybody knows what they are. And it's up to the offense. Like we're talking on that Cover 3 podcast, right? Remember, Brock is a $53 million man. Go take him to the promised land. And it would be funny because in 2023, we had that crazy good defense, right? Greenlaw, Warner, Bosa, everyone's balling out, and we couldn't get it done. But what if we can get it done with a high-powered offense?
And no defense.
That would just be like, wow.
I mean, stranger things have happened, but stranger things. Stranger things have happened where, I think a lot of people have been saying history has kind of been showing you that it doesn't really matter anymore if you have an elite defense. Because some Super Bowls that we've had have come down, like some of the Tom Brady Super Bowls, like one against Atlanta and others, and just other games where like teams are just scoring back and forth. There's no real team that has like a killer defense. So like in that way, yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if they won the Super Bowl that way. It's just I don't know if it's sustainable offensively to keep it going the way that it is. And scoring as many points as
early in the season, so they only have to do it for a couple more games, Aaron. That's it. A couple more games.
Speaking of the defense, I'm going to jump back to the offense in a bit. But speaking of the defense, based on how they're playing and based on, the coaching landscape going into next season, you think Salah's going to leave, or you think that, because I heard John Lynch say they're going to try to make it worth his while to stay, essentially probably overpaying him. Don't you feel like not that he owes it to us, but like we owe it all to each other, that like he needs to coach a defense that actually has some bodies on it, that can actually do some stuff, and like give us at least one more year with him, because to have a one and done where we're going to be on the search for a D coordinator, or we end up going to Bradley as the backup plan, I just feel like we'd be taking a step back. And
absolutely,
I don't know. How do you feel about that? Are you hoping that he doesn't get hired for another job, and that
obviously that's we need Salah back, but I think he's going to be very choosy of where he goes next, right? Like he's not going to just go to the Raiders and be like, oh well, they offered me money, I'm going to go coach here. He's going to be very, very particular of where he goes. But I do feel like the Niners gave him a 2-year contract, right? It wasn't a one and done, like, oh yeah, we know you're going to be, we'll renew you if you're good. You can stay with us if there's nowhere else for you to go. Like it's a 2-year commitment. They gave him the keys to the draft. They said, draft the defense. It's all yours. We're going to give you every single pick. Like, dude, build it. So it's just kind of weird that they would like give him all that power and all that money for 1 year. You know what I mean? Just for him to be like, all right, late. Like, I feel like maybe he's more committed to like staying another year, especially after how this defense went. And he knew they weren't going to win a Super Bowl this year, right? Because this was a rebuild year, and we're going to cut all this money off the books. So, hey, we're going to need a year to refresh. That's why we're going to give you the keys to the draft, and you can get whoever you want. So I think it was honestly, I feel like it's a 2-year plan. Things changed drastically. Obviously now, he's a hot commodity. Who knows what happens? But I feel like when they had conversations with him, it was like, hey, this year's going to be a throwaway year. Next year, let's build this defense. We'll have it ready to rock and roll, and let's go win a Super Bowl. And then you can pick and choose wherever you want to go. So that's the way I think. I hope it goes like that. And like you said, Gus Bradley will obviously be the backup coordinator if he does choose to leave.
Which a lot of players in the building have been talking about him, about how he's.
Oh, they love him.
They love him. So I mean, it's not the worst case scenario if Salah leaves, but I think for all of us, just at least one more year, and then if we could somehow have a healthy unit on defense next year. It's funny that you said what you said about, because I watched the thing and Kyle's like, well, I told players this offseason that the focus of Super Bowl or bust, that wasn't really the focus. Like he kind of admitted that they weren't going into this season saying like, oh, we're about winning a Super Bowl, which is really weird to admit. And then you have the part of it where John Lynch is like, yeah, this is a reset. What? To me, it's just strange because it's like, what are John and Kyle thinking right now? Because some fans are like, well, if we win, it's great. We exceeded our expectations. If we lose, we were never meant to be there anyways. I hate that kind of thinking. I absolutely despise that kind of like yo-yo mentality where it's like, either way we win. It's like, no, when you lose a Super Bowl or if you lose in the playoffs, it sucks. Like, it's not because you weren't supposed to be here. It doesn't matter. You are there. So you're expected to win. And I don't like that kind of mentality. So it's been really confusing, like, as an organization, how are they feeling? Because we got fans that are confused how to feel. Some fans are like me, who are not allowing themselves to kind of fall for it, and who are super, super, like, cautiously optimistic to the point where if we lose, I expect it, and if we win, I'll be really happy. But at the same time, and like, I'm not allowing myself to go down that emotional hole that we've done in the past.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Because it's weird to admit that you weren't in it for the Super Bowl. You already admitted that you financially were resetting the books. So you have those two things going, but then all of a sudden you're one win away from getting the 1 seed, and it's like, I don't know how to feel about that. How does the organization know how to feel? Like, that's interesting.
I mean, like we were talking earlier, you saw my post in the offseason, and I'm very, very critical of the moves they made this offseason, letting go all of that talent, not bringing anybody in to replace it. Their major signing was Luke Farrell, and I was like, are you kidding me? He's not even a good tight end too.
And yeah, exactly.
Like you can't go toe to toe battling the Rams when they're getting Puna Ford, Devontae Adams, all these other players, and they had a great draft. Like, and your answer to them is Luke Farrell. So to me, I was very, very angry. I kind of saw the writing on the wall. They wanted to keep Jake Moody, and I'm like, okay, you can tell that this team this season is not about it, and there's something weird going on. So I was very, very pessimistic. But I will tell you right now,
the same.
I am like a battered woman, and I'm letting my guard back down, and I'm letting dude come back, and he said he's gonna change. But I'm not gonna lie, Aaron, I'm getting a little excited because things are starting to break the way, and I'm just gonna kind of ride it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna ride this wave of good emotions, these good wins, and I am more of a negative fan, but this time around, my expectations were so low this offseason that they've already exceeded them, that you might as well enjoy this ride, because this is kind of special what they're doing, and seeing what Brock's doing is pretty crazy, and Kyle's getting in his bag, and this team is it just feels a little different. They didn't have this swag earlier in the season. Everything just kind of seemed forced and discombobulated, and bad luck over and over. But we're at the end of the season now, and dude, we're in it, man. Like I said last night, if we beat the Bears, Seattle's fucking toast. And I believe that because I think Brock Purdy is going to outplay Sam Darnold that night, and I have a feeling something special is going to happen. And it's been going the right way so far, and I'm riding the train, man. I'm letting my guard down. I'm getting excited because that's what sports is about. It's the ups, the downs, the excitement, the disappointment. Like, this is what the season's for, because otherwise, what's the point of being a fan if you don't allow all these emotions to take over? Because that's the fun part, right?
Yeah, to me, it's almost like if we were not the 1 seed and we went into the playoffs with absolutely no pressure on us. That's why I'm like, man, getting the 1 seed automatically kind of puts us in the crosshairs. Like, they're the number 1 seed.
We need the 1 seed.
Oh, I know we need the 1 seed, but it's weird because, yeah, definitely they do not travel. My thing is, when you're the 1 seed, the expectation is you are one of the 2 best teams in the league. No questions asked. And it's kind of weird because offensively, yes, 100% one, if not the top offense right now. I'm not saying all year, right now. Defensively, we are 32nd, 31, whatever you want to say, bottom tier. Going in as a wild card, you have no pressure, which means the pressure's on whoever else you're playing. And that's why I've been kind of like conflicted how to feel, because it's like, do I cheer for the 1 seed and like with all the smoke that comes with it, and like, play a team that has a little bit better defense than us and we lose in the first game? Or do we just go into this thing with like, we have nothing to lose and then we make a huge playoff run and somehow we win the Super Bowl? So I'm kind of like, part of me wants to let my guard down and kind of enjoy this thing, but the other part of me is not allowing it because I've been here before with a better team overall and we weren't able to get it done. And now we have an offense that's better than one we've ever had in a long time. But the defense,
the competition was a lot better too when we went in, right? Like we had a top tier Mahomes, Chiefs team that was, seemed unbeatable. Now every week these teams they all have weaknesses. So and I don't even think the expectation is, Niners are going to win the Super Bowl if we get the 1 seed. Everyone's going to always doubt. Okay. Everyone is always going to doubt because of this defense. So no matter what, even if we get the 1 seed, people are going to be like, they're probably going to get bounced by the Rams. It's the Rams show. It's the Rams show. Rams, this and that. Look, the Rams are getting smoked right now. They have, I would not want to be the Rams going into the playoffs playing like that. I'd rather be the Niners playing on the 1 seed where everyone's still doubting you. They're like, we'll smoke that defense. No big deal. I really don't think the pressure will be on them because we're already playing with house money. Nobody believes in the Niners. Half the fans didn't. I didn't believe in them throughout the season. So I think these are all young guys, all backups, especially on defense, who are just like, dude, let's go win some football games. Let's go see what happens.
I think I'm going to approach it the way I've been approaching it, which is cautiously be optimistic. And if they win, I'd be like pleasantly happy and surprised, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't want to be like concrete in my feelings one way or the other. I've been neutral. Even Sterling said, "You're afraid to get let down again." I said, 100%.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me. I want to buy in.
Again. You're scared to love again, Aaron.
Yeah, like a battered woman, or even maybe in some cases, in my case, in real life, for real, a battered guy who's got smacked by a woman before. I just want to love again. I just want to love again. That's it. And part of me wants to give in to this feeling of like, here, maybe we can. Maybe we are a team of destiny.
Give in, bro. Just give in.
Give in to the dark side.
Enjoy the ride. We're here. You might as well. There's no point of being miserable the whole time about it.
That's true.
Huge game Saturday. Get excited for it. You can be disappointed after if we lose, but part of the fun is the lead up to it, right? Like texting the boys about the game coming up. Hey, where we're gonna go? Where we're gonna meet up? Okay, we're gonna meet up here. Talking about the game beforehand, like me and you right now. Like, it's exciting, dude. This is what being a sports fan is about. And if the Niners want to give it to us like this, then dude, I'll take it, because I thought we were gonna be talking about the draft right now, honestly.
Yeah, I think me and Sterling picked us to go to the playoffs. I think we were both like, I think one of us was like 11-5 and 10-6. Something around that, and like a first round exit. And even a couple of weeks ago when we were doing the Cover 3 podcast, Sterling straight up said, like, we're not a Super Bowl team. Like, we're not going to win the Super Bowl. He said it.
Yeah.
And now, as a fan, I wonder, because he's way more positive than me. So is Dre. Mm-hmm. They're way more positive. Like, I am super pessimistic when it comes to the Niners, just because I've been hurt. I wonder how, like, what kind of mental tug of war is going on in the minds of people who have been like, oh, we're not going to make it. Oh, now all of a sudden I got to get on this positivity train of like, maybe we can make it. It's gotta be crazy. It's a good thing to have and a good thing to be talking about. Like, nobody's saying like you have to stay pissed off and miserable.
Yeah.
I guess it just matters how it affects your mental health. When the Niners lose Super Bowls, I don't eat and I get really depressed for like a week or so.
Absolutely.
I don't want to go through that again. So.
Yeah. No, I know. But it's like, you know what? I had them at 10 wins this season, and I didn't think it was enough to get in as a wild card because I knew the NFC was just so competitive. And I'm like, it's gonna take 11 to 12 wins to get in as a wild card. And I'm like, I think we're gonna fall like a game short. And it is true. You need 11 wins to get into the playoffs as a wild card. And so, like, that part was right, but man, was I wrong with the record, because we could be coming in with 13 wins, going in number 1 seed overall. And like I said, man, I think my advice to you, Aaron, open up your heart and have fun with it. And this is not many teams get to even enjoy this, right? You could be a fan of another team and they don't even get to experience half.
I was a Dolphins fan, and he was like, dude, I wish we had a quarterback like yours.
Yeah.
I think Brock Purdy has renewed the passion for even some of the most pessimistic or high standard fans like myself. Like, as much as I'm like on the fence, I am through the moon that Purdy is doing work and shutting people up. And he's starting to kind of knock down some of these narratives of he could only win because of the Avengers, or he only wins because of Kyle, or it's this, or it's that. And it's like, if Purdy somehow goes on this amazing playoff run too, he's a legend. Yeah. And then it doesn't matter what you think. If you want to still hate him and make content based on your hate, or because you're a troll, posing as a reporter who makes content just to wink at people. Hey, look, I'm a reporter for the team. Wink, wink. Like, if you want to keep doing that, great. Make tons of money being a grifter. Awesome. But if Brock plays well and he wins a Super Bowl, as much as you want to grift, you're going to have to freaking admit that he's one of the reasons, if not the reason, we won. So, like, that to me is one of the biggest reasons I want him to do good, is I want the people who are looking for every single reason to doubt this guy to be like, I'm still going to be an a-hole and I'm still going to be really crass in my reporting and I'm never going to give people credit, but I'm going to give Brock credit. Yeah. And once they do that and he wins, you can't walk it back. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm iffy on the team and I'm so with the team, but I'm so much just like, freaking, I want Brock to get it so bad, just so people can just for a day or an off season, they can stop moving that goalpost.
Exactly.
2 more things and we'll get out of here. One of the things is that the running game has been kind of resurgent the last 2 weeks. Christian McCaffrey, they always say bring your run game and defense into the playoffs. Well, we don't have a defense to bring, but we might have a run game on top of this pass game to bring. What'd you think about Christian having another strong game last night?
He looked great, didn't he? I mean,
yeah, he looked really good. He had some sort of like hip pointer or something at the end. He was
and I'm like, oh, great, here we go. The injuries are starting to pile up on us. Kittle, Trent, now CMC. I'm like,
that's why we need the one. That's why we need the 1 seed. You're right.
That's why we need it. We definitely need it. But yeah, I mean, the offensive line, like, dude, hats off.
They've been playing a lot better.
I was the biggest critic of the offensive line for the past 2 or 3 years, and I shit all over McKivitz, and he's pretty damn good, honestly. I mean, he's very, very, very serviceable, and hats off to him. Austin Pleasance, he didn't get Brock killed.
Were you pleasantly surprised from Pleasance last?
I was Austin pleasantly surprised that Brock was not dead by the end of the game.
He blew one assignment where Brock almost was killed, but other than that, he survived, right? So, I mean, the bad thing is I think, the Bears weren't prepared. They don't have like film on Pleasance or whatever, but I think, Seattle's going to be a lot more productive on that side of the line rushing, getting to Brock, unfortunately, because, there's film on him now. They can see his weaknesses and all this stuff and how he lined up. And, these guys are probably going to feast, but no complaints. The run game starting to pick up. B-Rob is running the ball really well too. I mean, dude, it's looking good. It's looking really good, and they're gonna need it next week because we're gonna face a very good defense next week, and they're coming. They're coming for the head. So, yeah, it'll be an interesting game because I think that the Seahawks are beatable.
Yes,
I feel like Darnold's issues or maybe his pumpkin turned into a pumpkin can neutralize how bad our defense is played, which will help us because if we are being honest with ourselves, we're probably going against a defense that might limit us more than we've been in the last couple of weeks. So like if we could somehow
especially without Trent, right? Like
yeah, if somehow our offense or somehow our defense kind of like looks better than it should against him and he plays bad and he starts throwing picks and the offense goes down a little bit, it still might be enough. So that's where my mind is like I'm hoping he turns into a pumpkin and I'm hoping like when that happens, if we can at least even if we get a turnover, a couple sacks, just don't allow 30 some odd points. Like 21, I think
Darnold's good for an interception or two. You know,
yeah,
he's good for one. Just hopefully these guys can catch it. And I think Kyle knows his weakness more than anybody, right? So
yeah,
you know he can tell Salah, you know, his tendencies and all this stuff and what he likes to do. You know, he sat in QB meetings with this kid for a long time. So, yeah, I just feel like Brock Purdy's going to outplay him, and that's all we need to happen. We just need Brock Purdy to outplay Sam Darnold, and we win the game.
Yeah. Hopefully Brock can keep the turnovers down. He's had one pick in the last 2 games. I felt like last night's was just really good defense.
Yeah. I mean, they went right to Jalen Johnson on the first throw, which was kind of little
and it was a tight window throw too.
Yeah.
It was a real tight window throw, which, you know, being backed up that far, you would think to not do that, but it happened. Didn't affect the end of the game. We still scored 42 freaking points. Scored 48 last week. Scored what did we score? The 30. What did we score? 34, 35 or something the other week. 38. I don't know. We scored a lot of points the last 3 weeks. We scored a lot of points to win Brock's first game when we came back against the Cardinals too. So this offense with Brock is a different animal. Last thing,
he just can't throw any interceptions. If he doesn't turn the ball over, they're gonna win.
Yeah, and it sucks because like the defense is so bad that like even one mistake can kill us.
Yep.
Like we have to be flawless. Last thing, Kyle Shanahan, Coach of the Year, yes or no?
Absolutely. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know how there's.
I'm not even trying to be a mark for the Niners. You can't. Who's done more with less on defense?
Like, what's the criteria? Because he should have won it like 4 times already. You know, if they're going to give it to Vrabel or, you know, these other coaches, like, oh, well, you turn around a team. Like, dude, Kyle Shanahan's turned around a team. He's went through 4 quarterbacks in one season. He's gone through every up and down where, you know, you've had a horrible season one year, you take him to the Super Bowl the next year. Like, what's the criteria for Coach of the Year? Because Kyle has fulfilled it and he hasn't gotten it ever. So
I hate if he wins a Super Bowl, they might be like, oh, well, yeah, he took a team with, you know, injured players across the board and they won a Super Bowl. It's like, no, I think regular season, if you're talking about a guy that is somehow coached and to mask all sorts of injuries, offense and defense, a receiver that didn't come back because he's got feelings and he's sensitive. You know, we got rid of Debo last year. Pearsall's been in and out of the lineup. Kittle's been in and out of the lineup. Your quarterback's been in and out of the lineup. Like, what other proof do you need that his coaching, above all else, is kept this team with the chance at the freaking 1 seed, bro? Like, with everything that's happened. That's why, like, and I say that I want to jump in and get down with it with this team because of everything. That's the part. We have every excuse why we shouldn't be here, and we are. Yeah. And if that's the case,
than all these other teams that are trying to get Coach of the Year, and it's like, dude, Kyle is doing so much with nothing, and he's beat some of these guys head up going for Coach of the Year, and it's like, what's the criteria? Isn't the definition of a coach like to maximize,
to elevate,
of your players and to elevate them? He's elevating an entire backup squad. Like, what more do you need him to do?
They got JV freaking high school players on defense right now, man. That's how freaking depleted they are.
It's crazy.
They're running around. They had Mac Jones. They even had a kicker injury this year, and they still found a way. It's just been insane.
Yeah.
The Niners have had every excuse to fold, and they haven't folded. And if that is not what a Coach of the Year award should be, I don't know what else. Having a loaded team and winning a Super Bowl should not make you a candidate. It should be overcoming adversity, winning when you shouldn't. You're coming into a year where you're admitting Super Bowl is not the goal. You're coming into a year where you're admitting we're going to be cheap and we're resetting our finances. Like, this isn't supposed to be happening. So, that being the case, if Coach of the Year is about elevating players and making people better than what they can be, what else is there? If he doesn't win it and they give it to Vrabel, I think I'm going to punch a hole in something because, like, stop. Like, no cap or full cap or whatever they say. I'm too old. I don't know what the saying is.
Like, the definition of Coach of the Year is like trying to find the definition of a catch now. Like, nobody knows what the criteria is, and you can't. It's totally objective. So
I can go so many other ways, but I'm not going to go political in this. There's so many other things in the world where we can't get simple answers to anymore because there's 37 different answers, and you know exactly what I'm talking about too.
Yep.
So, but hey, man, had fun doing this. Didn't get a whole lot of participation from the crowd, but that's okay. If you're watching this on rewatch, or you've been here live or whatever, thanks for coming through. If you saw us on X, thanks. We'll be back. I don't know. Maybe we'll do it Sunday. I don't know. If not, we'll do it Monday. We'll be back next. We'll be recapping Week 18 against the Seattle Seahawks. We're either going to be the 1 seed or what? Or the 6 seed?
I think so. Let's see. Yeah, I'll tell you right now because the Rams are going to lose. And if we lose next week, we will actually be the 5th seed.
Okay.
So we would get Carolina because if the Rams lose tonight, and they will win, or actually no, I'm a liar, because the Rams will beat Arizona next week. So we will be the 6th seed. Either way, we're gonna play. We're either playing Philly or we're the 1 seed.
Be interesting. But the fact that we're here and it's going into Week 18, that we have the 1 seed on the line when we weren't supposed to be here financially or team goal wise, we still are. So
pretty epic, Aaron. The next show
it'll be awesome. Hopefully Purdy has another killer game next week. Everybody, thanks so much for coming through. Mike, I will see you next week. Everybody take care. Go Niners, and we'll talk to you guys on the other side. Peace.
Good night.
Let me end the stream.